Hey guys, and welcome back to the Behind the Plate podcast brought to you by One IQ Sports.
I'm
That's
Will. That's
DJ.
DJ.
I'm Will. I did it differently to fuck with him because he's mocking me. He's going, yeah. This is the first time in a while that we've done a podcast directly 1 week after the other, like the last one.
Boom.
And there's actually like a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. We have two more trade package ideas that we're going to throw out there. We got swept in Philly, but we swept the Cards. We got a pretty big homestand coming up. There's a new guy on the team named Will Robertson. And the American League East got a whole lot easier. And the Red Sox swept the Yankees and still lost. So there's that. So let's start with the elephant that's no longer in the AL East. Rafael Devers has been traded to San Francisco. That man is probably skipping to San Francisco right now with a little whistle on his mouth there. You know he is. He's singing a little tune. He went from, DHing in Boston to now he gets to sit in California, man. East to west. And he might play first base, is what they said today. Is that like he's more, I don't know if it's that he's more open, but or if Buster was like, listen here, buddy, you're gonna fucking play first base. And he was like, yeah, okay. But apparently he could get some first base and some third base while Chapstick's hurt. But man, what a trade. I don't know if you saw the notification.
I did, yeah, Insta.
It
was all over.
Oh man, I got the Robert Murray breaking Rafael Devers to Giants notification, and I was like, what? And I was like, no, he's been hacked. It brought me back to the night Luka got traded when Shams tweeted this. I'm like, well, Shams has been hacked. It's same thing. I was like, okay, Robert Murray's been hacked, or there's another Rafael Devers that I just don't know who the fuck it is.
Right.
And then the details start to come out, and it's like, it's Jordan Hicks and Kyle Harrison. I'm like, okay, yeah, he's been hacked. There's no way that's the highlighted part of the return. And then Passan bombs it, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then there was a smile on my face for probably 2 hours, and I couldn't stop laughing at the return. It was insane.
Yeah. It's insane. And I knew there was like turmoil, but and there's been turmoil for months because he's being like stubborn and doesn't want to play certain positions and yada yada. He doesn't want to make sacrifices for the team, but that's the building block. Throw him
that
away
was the face of the franchise. And I feel like this all could have been avoided if they just sat him down in the offseason and kind of messaged him, like relayed the message and talked to him. But there was just guys being guys, and they were like, what if we don't tell him and just force him into it? And then he got mad because he wanted to be told it. Like, I feel like if they sent Devers down in February and were like, hey, we're looking at getting Alex Bregman to play third base. Would you be willing to play for some first base for us to help us out this year? You don't have to. We're not talking stuffing you there for 140 games. Like Tristan Casas is there right now. But like you're the backup first baseman if he goes down, and you're gonna play like once a week, and other than that, you'll DH. And I feel like he would have been like, yeah, okay, I guess I can do that. But instead, they were like, hey, we signed Bregman. He'll play second base. You'll play third base. Then they were like, actually, we don't like you at third base. You can go DH. And then they were like, actually, you're going to play some first base. And I feel like they just kind of wrung him around. They treated him like a Kevin Biggio in a sense, where they were like, go out there and figure it out instead of like communicating like this is the guy you're trying to build around.
Right, yeah, he never seemed like the focus point. Didn't seem like he had all the respect he deserved, which was weird.
Yeah, it was just weird. I don't know if I know that like the nerds don't like the Rafael Devers contract because he's already DHing and whatever. That dude's a top 10 bat, top 15 bat in the league. And he's going to be for another 6 years. Like, he's going to be nasty. So what, his age 38 season, he's not going to be like what he was at 27. No one is. That's why you make the contracts for the prime, not the 39-year-old season. You make it so you can win with him when he's great, not when he's, you know? And so maybe the nerds devalued the contract a bit, and Craig Breslow, who is like the nerd amongst nerds who wants to make the Red Sox like the Rays, saw it and went like, well, no, we don't like this contract. I mean,
and the contract, I mean, fuck, look at the economy.
It's right year now. 2. It's year 2 of his contract. 2.
And they got a discount with the market now. I mean,
if Raffy hit the open market today, his contract's 400, 500.
Exactly. So, like what the hell?
Having a top 10 hitter in the league on what is now considered a team-friendly deal, which is insane to say for $250 million.
Yeah, that is crazy. And
then to trade him and not get anything that's going to be substantial on your MLB roster is insane. Like, Jordan Hicks is going to be owed $30 million over the next 2 years, and he's rocking a 7 ERA with a bad toe, and he's in the bullpen.
Exactly. He can't figure out his position.
I know. They wanted him. He got signed to starter money, failed instantly, got sent back to the bullpen, went like, well, actually, you see my toe hurts, so I'm not going to pitch right now. Then they got Kyle Harrison. Yeah. Dude, the guy who's going to make the most impact on the major league team, the Blue Jays acquired for Adam Kloffenstein and Sam Robertsy, and Adam Kloffenstein's back in the Blue Jay organization. Like Kyle Harrison, I get, top prospect pedigree. It means something. Doesn't fuck all with it in the big league. It means nothing when you have I don't know what it is, like a 5 ERA as a starter in the big leagues. Like I don't care what you did in single A, in double A, in triple A with guys who aren't making it up every day. I don't care at that point. You got to do it on the major league field, and if he's not doing it,
can't trade away a superstar, quote unquote generational talent who's basically on a bargain.
Yeah.
For nothing.
The only guy that's actually worth something was James Tibbs III. That's the only guy. He's got the best value, I would say, on that trade. But he's still 22, 23. He's like 5 years younger than Raffy.
Not developed. Yeah.
And he's in single A.
Right. Yeah.
He's nasty, right? But it's just he's not gonna be a Rafael Devers.
It's kind of eye-opening that this all happened right after they called up their number 1 prospect.
It's gonna be crazy. When you look back, it's gonna be a trivia question, and it's gonna be Rafael Devers and Roman Anthony overlapped for 6 days. And there's going to be another prospect where it's there's another example somewhere where it's whoa, really?
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think who that is. Well, the most shocking one for me, I think, is the fact that Xander Bogaerts and Ortiz played on the same team for 3 years.
Yeah, that is weird.
But it makes no sense. Why? That'd be the Jays trading Vladdy at the end of the 2026 season.
They gave up on him. They didn't like his attitude. I think that's just what it was. They thought he was going to you'd point, he'd go.
Yeah.
And they were
sorry, he's upset that you paid him to be a third baseman and then went, and then gave him the runaround.
Yeah, it's really weird, but a lot of pressure on Roman Anthony to perform now. Holy fuck.
All 3 of those guys, Roman Anthony, Marcelo Meyer, and Christian Campbell, talk about, first year buffer year with, Raffy there. He's going to be your guy to, one of you has to immediately take over and, produce like Raffy did. And it's just, it's not fair to those guys. They don't have a DH right now. Bregman's hurt. Masataka Yoshida's hurt. They're talking about rushing him back, weeks ahead of schedule to hit. He couldn't hit healthy. And you're going to hit him hurt? Like,
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
but they're winning now.
I think the Red Sox are cooked for the year. If they go and turn this around into Kyle Tucker,
Right. Yeah.
dude, it is fair play. If you turn Raffy into Kyle Tucker, fair play. You aren't going to, but fair play.
Yeah. Clearing cap space in today's game does not make sense in this like.
Well, especially when you got a guy who's cheap, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, man. I feel like this is one where we're gonna look back at it similar to Mookie. Obviously, different scenarios and everything. Like the Red Sox didn't want to pay Mookie, whereas the Red Sox paid Raffy, and then we're like, eh. But I think like we're gonna look back at this and go, ooh,
Yeah.
Especially like if the impact of that saved money isn't felt in the off season, like immediately heading into 2026, everyone's gonna be pissed and up in arms.
And going to the other side, I mean, the Giants are now a contender. Like, if they weren't before, they're a legitimate contender now.
The Giants went from like playoff wild card contender to like division, like league champion contender, like potential World Series team all of a sudden, just like that.
If the Dodgers don't exist, it's an easy, division win.
Well, so like the Giants haven't had that dude, like in their lineup where you're like, oh my god, probably since like the early to mid 2010s where like they were running out like just nasty teams. Yeah. They haven't had a left-handed hitter hit 30 home runs since Barry Bonds.
Crazy.
That's over 20 years probably now, I think. Like they got a guy that's like they've been waiting to get that face since Buster. And it's Buster who brings in the new face. Like they whiffed on Aaron Judge. They briefly had Carlos Correa. I know they tried for Ohtani. I don't know how serious that was at the end of the day. I don't remember. Was it them who got up close or was it the Angels who got into third there?
I remember the Angels being close, but like not seriously close.
I don't think the Giants ever fully pursued Soto or Yamamoto. They got Jung-Hoo Lee, like that was like the big one. They got Willy Adames, but like those aren't like face of the franchise moves. They altered the course of their franchise for the next 10 years yesterday.
On a discount.
Yeah. Like there's going to be guys now that look at that team and see the fact that it's like Jung-Hoo Lee, Willy Adames, Rafael Devers, Matt Chapman, like 2 through 5. Maybe not in that order. And they're going to go, yeah, I can get in with that.
Yeah, no kidding.
Like, if you're the Giants, the first thing I'm doing is I'm going to either Kyle Tucker, because Kyle Tucker in San Francisco would be a monster. Like like you're talking almost 55 home runs, 60 home runs there. A lefty pull hitter there, he's gonna be nasty. And you go and be like, hey, you want to hit behind Rafael Devers and in front of like Matt Chapman or something, and they'd be like, yeah, okay.
That's a wagon if they get Tuck.
Or they go up to a start and they go, look at our lineup. Now imagine if we had you in the rotation.
Yeah.
Like, it's just one of those moves. Similar to like the Vladdy extension that we were talking about like a bit ago now. It's one of those moves where your team becomes so much more attractive to another player.
Mm-hmm. And for Boston, it's the opposite. Like, who wants to go there now and fight for their freedom and their contract and whether or not they're safe? Like
the fact that like teams, I don't know if it's gonna be like, because obviously there's a lot behind the scenes, but I would say probably for the next couple years at least, teams players not represented by Devers' agent that don't have regular contact with Devers are probably gonna go and be like, what happened? And they're gonna want clear cut, no bullshit answer to know if like signing in Boston would be their long-term decision or if they would just be uprooted again immediately.
Yeah, it seems like some stubborn management there, which is, I don't know, it does not seem appealing to from a player's perspective, which is kind of scary for young and up up and coming players and even established players in the
Yeah.
open market.
Like, dude,
Toronto.
if I'm Alex Bregman, like, I'm opting out immediately and going, you need me.
Yeah.
And then putting a number on the table that's fucking insane. Like, ridiculous.
He's getting paid more than fucking Rafi. That's
Yeah.
fuck.
Like, so he's getting 40 a year right now because he's on that high AAV short term. I'm going back there and I'm talking like 35 a year. Like, you need me to be your third baseman. Could you imagine if Bregman walks and now there's no one at third base?
That'd be awesome.
Boston would riot.
Seriously.
Man.
I don't. Yeah, Boston Twitter's fucking cringe as it is.
The only other thing that would have been crazier than that would have been if the Toronto trade went through. Because, like, yesterday we learned that the Jays inquired into that. I don't think it was long-lived. I think there was never going to happen. Like, they were never going to trade him within the division. They would have been shot. Like, Breslow would have been shot. There would be, like, a FBI investigation into who killed him today if he traded him to Toronto. But we know a bit of the Toronto package. So
I didn't get spoiled on this. So
this is DJ's first time hearing this too. Sean McAdam put it out there today or yesterday that the Jays inquired about Rafi Devers. Then it was learned that Toronto asked Boston to eat some money, which I don't think Boston was going to do. Then Boston's package surrounded around this major league player in the starting rotation named Jose Barrios.
Wow.
I think the Jays heard Barrios and went like that. Crazy. Immediately. I think they went, no fucking way. Absolutely not.
Really? You don't think they would do that?
No. I think they would have probably been like, how about Trey Savage instead? Dude, I would have given them like, Ricky T, Cal Stevenson, Jake Bloss all could have been a part of that package instead of Jose Barrios. No way.
Really? You think he's got that much value over Devers?
I don't know if it's value, but I think it's just what he means to the team more.
Right now, yeah.
Because it wasn't like we're not talking 1-for-1. You know, it's like Barrios plus 3 more. I just
we lose a lot of depth
unless Barrios, unless you go to him and be like, hey man, we're gonna trade you to Boston, you're gonna opt out of that deal and we'll sign you to another contract.
Imagine. Oh my god. That would be nice.
I think it would have put the focus, like the fact that the Jays need 2 starting pitchers right now, trading one away, and you're like, you've been like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know, like it's one of those things that would have killed momentum. If the Jays had 4 starters, like let's say Scherzer was here, balling, I think you're more inclined to going, yeah, okay, like I could do that.
Yeah, we got no depth right now. True.
Also, the fact that Barrios just owns the Jays when he pitches against them, like, was another thing that I would have been like, I don't know.
But
it's Devers, man.
Like
Devers is nasty.
In Rogers Center, and he's best friends with Vladdy. That would be electric.
That would have been nuts. But the Jays willing, like, we don't know how much money the Jays asked the Red Sox to eat. I assume it wouldn't have been more than, like, probably $50 million, if I had to take a guess. The fact that they have Vladdy on 500, and they would have been willing to take, Rafi at least 200. Dude.
That's crazy.
We got money to spend, boys.
Oh, 250.
Money to spend. There's no reason Bo walks now. If that's you just told Bo Bichette and his agent that you have money again, and you just told the fan base that you have money. Bo Bichette lockdown, man. And I'm not even talking like I fuck the 3-4 year. Just make it 8. 8 years at like 150, 175, and call it a day. Because I think that's a pretty fair deal for where he's at right now.
Based on what this team is doing with the money and the, acquiring about everybody, they are ready to win a championship in 2-3 years again. They do not want to wait anymore. They're fucking
I
sick of
think we're.
that.
I don't know actually how much I believe what I'm about to say here.
Say it.
And the more I think about it, the more it sounds stupid. If the Jays were willing to acquire Rafael Devers with the mindset that they still want to keep Bo Bichette, what is stopping the Blue Jays from
Yeah.
becoming the LA Dodgers for like 5 years? Where you have 2 off seasons where you spend $1 billion. You go nuts. And then you just sit.
Yeah.
You're like, okay,
Get me Kyle Tucker.
let's see what happens. Get me Bo, get me Tux, get me Zach Allen.
Yeah.
And then the next
good.
off season, get me 3 more guys like that and just go, okay, go figure it out. Not to mention with guys like Arjun Namala coming up, Addison Barger being him, Trey Savage being up, maybe Manoah's back, Ricky T could be a guy, Cal Stevenson could be there, or Cal Steven, not Stevenson.
we're dreaming, but yes.
Go.
A lot's changed.
Go.
I mean, especially with Devers out.
It's open. The Red Sox, get out of here. Come back in 2 years again.
Yeah.
They pushed them back to where they were in 2023. Like, that's what they just did. They completed their short little rebuild, retool, and went, nah, let's do that again.
Let's try again. Yeah.
Oh, dude. Oh,
We'll
it's
see
awesome.
what happens. The
It's
open
great.
market's crazier now, though. Like, going into the off season, it's not like, it doesn't feel like anyone's. I mean, there's a few teams that just won't spend, but no one's afraid to like make it happen. A flip 1 year, sign 4 players, and then you're back into contention.
I think the Rafi Devers trade makes looking at St. Louis all the more interesting. Like a really fringe team that's probably exceeding expectations that might not perform like this next year with an aging third baseman. Like, dude, Nolan Arenado gets that much more interesting, especially for the teams that inquired on Devers. Like, not all of them. Like, I wouldn't say I don't see the Blue Jays going to be like, hey, let's go look at a guy like Devers. But like, I forget, like the Padres looked in at Devers. What's stopping them from going to look at an Arenado? The Dodgers do need a third baseman. What's stopping them from going to look at Arenado? Especially now. Like, they're probably going, like, they might be pissed. They're like, God damn it.
This was a possibility? I bet you half the league didn't even know.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't sound like Boston went around and was like, hey, Rafi Devers for sale. It was like 4 or 5 teams went up. They're like, hey, can we have Rafi? And they were like, yeah.
Sure.
Who do you want? Oh, yeah. Well, what do you get? Like, yeah. And then the teams are like, oh, who do you want? And they're like, yeah, 4 guys.
4 guys, name them, you got them.
Yeah, you give us the list of players. Like, to not get Bryce Eldridge is fucking insane. Insane.
Nothing. There's no big main piece. I don't get
2 years ago, Kyle Harrison, you're like, whoa. And now I'm like, like it's like Kyle Freeland to me, which might be disrespect to Kyle Harrison. But like, dude, I think Boston killed his value when they made him a DH and then like hung him out to dry. Because like I was convinced they were going to get Bryce Eldridge.
I still think they could have. They're just not smart. We'll say that.
Let's keep trade talks going because trades are fun.
Okay, you got a couple.
I got a couple. So Jim Bowden the other day, and I think Bob Nightingale too. I'm not 100% sure. Basically, they were saying, hey, the Jays are going to target starting pitchers. And it's like, yeah, like my dog could have told you that.
Yeah.
Like, obviously. So, we got 2. I have packages involved. Honestly, man, these were just made up on the fly. On the fly, I didn't check anything. If you don't think they're fair, kick rocks. Like, I made this real last minute here. I do know contract stuff, though, so we're doing better. So first one, both of these guys are starting pitchers, by the way, for people listening. The first one, you go to Texas, you get Tyler Mahle, who is on an expiring deal. He's a free agent at the end of the year. So it's a rental. Going the other way, I think he's like a low ERA. Like we're talking like high ones, low twos. Like nasty this year. Going the other way, we got Adam Macko, a left-handed pitcher in Buffalo. He was a part of the Teoscar Hernandez trade, and then Joey Loperfido also going the other way, just to give Texas another bat to try and work with there. Tyler Mahle swings in here, probably goes in right behind Chris Bassett, maybe in front of Chris Bassett. And you roll a four-headed beast of Gausman, Barrios, Mahle, Bassett, and then God knows what in the 5 spot. I think it's interesting. It just really depends because Texas is like sort of there. Like they're the kid at lunch where like they're trying to still be a part of like that one friend group and everyone's kind of like moving on. They're like, wait for me. And then you're like, we're going to go play soccer now. And he's like, no, I want to eat my lunch. That's what Texas is right now. They're trying to finish their lunch and get out there before it's too late, but like the bell is about to ring. And the teams have been picked.
I mean, yeah. That would be a high fucking... That's a lot of value. So I do think you're right with the... We'd have to give up quite a bit. He's having a standout season. Like, I don't remember him ever being this good.
No, I always thought of him as like a reliever. Now you're like looking at him like, maybe a long man or like a back end arm. Like an Eric Lauer, I think is a really good comp for him right now. Yeah. I don't know if you have anything else you want to add on Tyler Mahle.
No, like I said, I've never really looked into him before the year.
He was nasty in Cincy a couple years ago. Like nasty. Then he went to Minnesota and it was kind of iffy.
Mm-hmm. He's been like a career like 4 ERA guy, so it's like
we're going a little bit back now, but he was a part of. Do you remember like when Cincinnati was like looked at as like one of the like big fierce teams at the very beginning of the decade? Because their rotation was disgusting. It was Bauer, Castillo, Gray, and Mahle. That was like Tyler Mahle peak years. Was like he was just dogging out with those guys in the COVID season.
2020 was his best year with them. In 2021, he was pretty
2020 good. Cincinnati Reds pitching staff was disgusting. The fact that they barely made it into the playoffs was insane. Their offense stunk.
Damn, he must have had a few surgeries or something.
Yeah, he's got a couple arm injuries, but like, dude, it's like a guy you got to get. He's filling innings if you need. Worst case, best case, he's a number 2 for you. I think it's a really good idea. The other one I got, it's a long shot. It's on a team that said they aren't super enthralled with selling, but another couple bad weeks that could change. Ross Atkins is going to go fleece his old nemesis, Alex Anthopoulos. Coming to Toronto is Christopher Sale. Chris Sale, the Cy Young winner.
Back in the AL East. That would make Boston fans happy.
In the AL East. It's going to make everyone cringe. It's David Price 2.0. Going the other way, you got Ricky Tiedemann, Orelvis Martinez, and then I have Adam Kloffenstein, but I'm willing to throw like a Jake Bloss if you have to.
For sure.
Chris Sale is under contract this year. There's a club option for next year. I think it's $19 million. And it's Chris fucking Sale, man. He's nasty. Could you imagine? It'd be the most 2025 Blue Jays thing to have Chris Sale and Max Scherzer pitch in the same rotation.
And we go from not having a Cy Young to a Cy Young.
You go from not having a complete rotation to like American League favorites. If you're telling me you're rolling out a rotation of Chris Sale, Kevin Gausman, Jose Barrios, Chris Bassett, and then Max Scherzer.
Oh, and then we pick up an arm in the offseason when some guys leave.
When Scherzer and Bassett leave, you go in and you get a guy like Zach Allen.
Oh. My God. Lockdown Chris for fucking...
There is one. I haven't been able to find the player that fits this criteria. That like makes sense for both sides. I could see the Jays swinging like a sort of Jose Barrios esque deal, maybe not with a Jose Barrios, but like going and getting like, like maybe a guy who's like middle of the rotation, but he's young and could be an ace. That's like, just about to hit his ARB years. Like this is his either year one of ARB or he's like next year's his first year of arbitration. I could see them doing that type of trade too, like doing that because it sets you up not even for this year, but for the next 2 to 3 years or whatever. I think that's a nasty move. That I think I don't know who that player would be. Like I'd really have to go dig and like find that because that's like a really specific like 2 or 3 guys.
Yeah.
So but I wouldn't be shocked if the Jays went a controllable trade route over rental. But I also say go fucking big. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, no, I agree. That would change this fucking season on its head. I mean, it's super open. Like we said, we pick up Chris Sale and maybe one bat, and we are favorites in the AL. Or no, like one of the top favorites.
It's just, and it helps the bullpen. If you go and get a guy, not even Chris Sale, like say you go and get Tyler Mahle, or maybe Yusei Kikuchi makes his way back here, right?
Yeah.
Probably unlikely, but like, say that happens. There's another spot in that like rotation that's filled up where the bullpen doesn't have to worry about going 7 innings. Like it saves your bullpen. Your guys are rested. Then you don't have to worry about like, oh, I've thrown these guys. Like, you can mix and match easier. Like you don't need to worry. It's not like every game is like Green, Garcia, Hoffman, or like Little, Garcia, Hoffman. Like you can mix and match and go, oh well, we can do Fluharty because maybe he hasn't pitched in a couple days, or here we go. Like 3 of our guys in the last week have gone 7 innings plus. The bullpen's so well rested that like if someone does have a blow up game, Bowden Francis, the bullpen's ready for it.
Yeah.
Another starter solves so many issues.
Regardless, like you said, regardless if it's Chris Sale, it could be anybody. We need a 3, 4, even 5 guy.
Just a guy who can eat 6 innings regularly.
Consistently, yes. We cannot be relying
even
on
a Chris Bassett. Like go and trade for a Chris Bassett-esque guy. Like he's not going to be your ace, but like a dude who's just a hound and just eats innings. Go get yourselves an eater.
Well, seeing that Max is coming back soon, that'll change things drastically. We'll have to see what he's looking like.
I wonder if they just put him in Bowden's spot and put Bowden in the bullpen and then have Eric Lauer and Turnbull go. Because that piggyback was...
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
You can have Bowden. He's looking like old Bowden, like before he turned up for that period of time. He's just unreliable. His command is just awful. I don't know. There's too much pressure on him, I guess, to perform with really no one behind him.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, I don't know what it is. Everything's hittable. Nothing was special. Like that Taylor Ward quote from a while ago. I think it was last year when he took a no-hitter against the Angels. And it was like super hittable, nothing special. Maybe he was right.
It's looking like it right now, especially when you can't fucking throw a strike and walks 3 straight batters after going 2 perfect innings.
Your frozen camera is an exact representation of how I sit watching a Bowden Francis game.
Oh, perfect. Hopefully that hasn't been like that for a while. I did not.
Oh, only like 7 minutes, man.
Yeah.
It's just, it was rough. It's rough watching Bowden Francis.
Speaking of rough,
start.
The Blue Jays got swept by the Phillies after having one of the hottest stretches of the year.
They were bound to cool off for a bit.
Yes.
And we never have to see the fucking Phillies again.
Thank God.
So let's go have some fun. We're going to go to Arizona, Chicago, if you go 5-1 on the homestand, that sweep to Philly doesn't even matter in my mind anymore.
I mean, listen, if you would have told me we'd be at this point of the year and we're 5 games above 500 and Rafi Devers is out of the AL East, I would kiss you on the forehead. Especially if you said we got swept by the Phillies. Kiss
Right
you on
here.
the forehead.
I'm waiting.
Easy. I'll take that all day.
Yeah.
The D-backs are deflated. Our bats still look semi-decent. We really need Vladdy to wake up.
And Bo. Both of them are quiet in June.
Yeah, really quiet. Vladdy's not even going to make the All-Star team.
I think he will. I'd be down to see a lineup shake. Dude, I'd be down to see a lineup shake.
I'm surprised they haven't. It's
shocking. On the Eduardo Rodriguez start, which I believe is Wednesday, I want to switch it all the way up. I want Ernie leading off. Dude is rakes against lefties. He can lead off. Then let's throw Kirk in the 2-hole.
Yeah, Kirk.
Then we can throw Vladdy 3, Bo 4, and then I don't really care after that, man.
Whatever. Yeah, whatever. Barger 5.
There's too much thought process. I want to see Will Robertson in 4 of the 6 games this week. I hate the notion of calling a guy up and then sitting him on the bench and going, well, he didn't perform because you didn't give him the opportunity to. So give him the chance. That's we're not talking about a 21-year-old kid there. He's 27, this is his first stuff, but he's 27. He's Vladdy's age. He's older than Vladdy. Give him an opportunity. Yeah. Give him an actual shot to make and be a part of this team. Sunday against Philly, he turned on one, and it was majestic, and he put it off the wall, and it drove in a run. Give him 2. There's 2 righties, I think, against Arizona. He better be in both of those games.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's nothing really to lose. We're such a back-end heavy lineup anyway, so give him a shot. No one's a for sure lock at the bottom of the order.
Yeah.
There's so much platoonage and fucking switching around as it is. You might as well fucking.
So the pitching matchup is Bassett versus Brandon Pfaadt. TBA versus Eduardo Rodriguez. I genuinely don't think Bowden makes that start. I think they throw an opener in there. Or no, that wouldn't even be Bowden's start day. That'd be Eric Lauer, Spencer Turnbull start.
They don't have it locked in.
And then it's Gausman versus Ryan Nelson. Eduardo Rodriguez is game 2. I don't know if I mentioned that. I believe Ryan Nelson's a righty. I could be mistaken. But I'm 90% sure he's a righty. If that's the case, just fucking play Will Robertson, goddammit. Yeah, he's a righty.
Rodriguez is
a lefty. I knew that.
Lefty.
It was Nelson I had to double check. He's a righty. Play him. Play Will Robertson, goddammit.
No reason not to. I mean, they're a depleted team. He shouldn't make the biggest difference if he plays bad, but he will if he plays good.
Yeah.
There's literally no reason.
What's the worst case? He's not that good, and then Varsho comes back and you send him, right? Or Luke's comes back and you go, okay, well, here we go.
If Klosnik can get playing time, he could get playing time. That's just
So what's the worst case? You can't call him up, play him in 1 or 2 games, have Nathan Lukes come back, and then go, okay, see ya, man, you weren't that good for us. I'd rather send Roden down. Personally. Yeah. Give him the opportunity to just ball in AAA. Give Will Robertson the opportunity to just figure it out. If he can't get it done at 27, adios.
Audio.
That's the worst case. You say goodbye in a month. What's the best case scenario? He balls the fuck out.
Yeah, he's got a small window.
So you just gotta give him the opportunity, man. That's what pisses me off. I have an idea. When Varsho comes back, Miles Straw is traded. Is what I think happens.
Capitalize on the value. I've been saying that. There's a few guys in the lineup that have
Straw goes. then it's easier to get a guy like Rodin, Clase, or Robertson, whatever it looks like, whoever those are playing and up and whatever, they get a little bit more playing time if you give Varsho a day. The only issue is everyone in the outfield at that point, besides Springer, would be left-handed.
Yeah. That is weird.
But we've been begging for some lefties. We got them. Let's figure it out.
Let's do it. Now's the time to test. It's open. We've won way more games than I expected at this point. Fucking figure it out, because if something clicks, that can launch us into
the stratosphere.
Yeah, exactly. The playoffs. And then, trade deadline comes. We pick up one more arm, and you're looking like that window of contention. Scott,
that window of contention that starts in 2027 is now in 2025.
Boom.
And what better way to keep your shortstop around than to win some fucking ball games?
I know, he's got to perform.
So
they both.
That's where I'm at. I don't know, man. We got 6 games coming up.
I'm going 5-1. I'm still in it.
That's what I was gonna go at too. But no.
Fuck it.
6-0.
Oh my god. I think we lose the first game against the D-backs, and then we just fucking slash the rest of the games out.
I wouldn't be shocked if our one last game against the fucking White Sox.
Oh yeah, that just seems.
But no, I'm gonna go 6-0. They're gonna
6-0.
6 and then we go. And then we go.
The harder part of the month.
And Vladdy fucking rocks this week. That's my player of the week.
Oh, he always plays good against the D-backs. Are we home or away?
We're home for both.
Damn, he better pick it up. We've been saying that for weeks. Imagine being 5 games over 500 and Vladdy's like, I don't even want to think about it. He's been so bad. Not so bad, like he's still above.
Blue Jay
of the week. Blue Jay
of the week.
I'll go Boba Chat.
Okay. I'm intrigued to see what tickets are going to be like right now. Not like...
Me too.
Not like prices. I just want to see if the crowd's going to be popping. Because I feel like the mindset and the vibe around the Toronto Blue Jays has drastically changed since they were last at home.
Mm-hmm.
So Tuesday
is... When we go in September, it's going to be full.
Tuesday, ooh. Yeah, nice. You're talking like 35 plus there, I think.
Wow.
Wednesday.
Looney Dog Tuesdays.
Is very empty. I'm shocked Tuesday is so full.
Looney Dogs, bro.
Yeah, I guess. Right? Looney Dog Tuesdays.
Come on.
Thursday afternoon's pretty empty too. That makes sense. Work from home. And then it's the White Sox series. I think this one could be a big one. I think.
Like the A's.
Yeah, but no, I'm talking like attendance wise too, man. People are like, "Well, dude, oh yeah, Saturday's almost sold out."
That's crazy. And not surprising.
Sunday is the same. That makes sense. Let them go a little crazy on the weekend. And then, dude, at Yankee, we're going to go a little bit into the future here. So then you go Cleveland, Boston. Then you come back for the biggest 4-game set of our season.
Yeah.
Blue Jays, Yankees, Canada Day long weekend. Playoff vibes. That's going to be the first one we're like, here it is. We are seeded for all 4 games. Every game will be sold out. If the Jays come back from that road trip 4-2, after a 5-1 homestand, and you're talking about like a 45-win team, no, that'd be like almost a 50-win team. Against the Yankee team that say you're 3 back from them, it's 45 plus every game. You're talking sold out. Dude, MLB Network's gonna be on every game. ESPN's probably gonna try and snag like a Tuesday night and be like, yeah, we're trying to do some more baseball. And have an ESPN regional, not national, but regional in the States.
Too excited. You're getting us too excited.
we're fucking winning the East. But that series all of a sudden became really important, and like about a month ago, it really meant nothing to me. Whereas, like, I think no matter what happens over the next 2 weeks, I'm seated. I am watching all four.
Sweet Boston, bro, and then it's fucking game
Imagine
on.
they go on an 11-game win streak
Okay.
before they meet the Yankees. And maybe like lose one game before the Yankees so they're fresh to sweep all four.
This is gonna crash in our face so hard. We got fucking rabies again.
Dude. I was watching 2015 highlights. The vibes are so far through the roof.
I have like once every 2 months I'll do that.
All day Friday. That's all I did. I watched the top 25 home runs in like the last 10 years. It was like 2024 to 2014. Then it was like just 2015 season highlights the entire day. The entire day.
Oh my god. Well, let's do it, man. I'm happy where we're at. We couldn't ask for a better position to be in. Let's go Blue Jays.
Let's go 6-0, and then we fucking go.
You said Vladdy's your Blue Jay of the week?
Yes, and you said Bo.
Very, very.
Let's go Blue Jays.
Let's go.
Thank you guys for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you guys are brand new to the channel, and we're the fucking best team in the world. Bye.